You can't see me right now, but I'm tapping on my imaginary watch, counting the minutes until Ridley Scott's next tantrum where he blames millennials for another box office bust. Welcome to another episode of the Popcorn Confessional, and this is Dave from Nerdbox, and I am accompanied by my wife Jenn, also from Nerdbox. And on this episode, we are talking about the House of Gucci. So fire up that Jiffy Pop and meet us in the booth.
The rise of Patrizia Reggiani within the Gucci family after she meets Maurizio Gucci and marries into the family. House of Gucci tells a tale of lust, greed, and family dysfunction as Maurizio slowly takes over the Gucci empire while Patrizia pulls the strings behind the scenes.
Ridley Scott's got a second one out there. Have you seen this one or Last Duel? Which one did you think was better? And did you need to see a movie about fashion? Did you think it was a mob movie? I know some people who did. What did you think of this one?
Well, I did not ever think it was a mob movie. I know what Gucci is.
It's this Gucci.
Yeah, no. I shop in stores that have, they're pre-owned, but they sell Gucci purses and shoes and clothing. So I'm aware of what Gucci is. I know it's not a mob movie. Just because it has an Italian last name and Al Pacino starred in the movie does not mean that it's a mob movie. Just saying. Anyway, I think if Ridley Scott wants to blame millennials for not watching his movies, he should make movies that millennials want to see. I'm not sure how many generations want to see this movie. I wanted to see it based off the cast, but the only thing that kept me watching it was Jared Leto, because he was really hilarious as a middle-aged, balding, fat man. Other than that, nothing.
I would have found more entertainment punching myself in the face after the first 5 minutes and through the remaining 2 hours and 30 plus minutes. I actually find this movie to be so bad that it's offensive. One, I am Italian, from an Italian neighborhood, and I don't even know what the hell accents they were speaking, because it certainly wasn't Italian accents.
You're from an Italian neighborhood in New York.
No.
They are in Italy.
No. They were speaking Russian accents. They were speaking English accents. My God, Salma Hayek was in the movie, and she was the only damn person I understood. And you know how she talks sometimes. The acting was hit and miss. The story is all over the place. I don't know if there was 4 people writing it and they just hey, that kids game that used to play. Hey, I'll say a sentence and then you say a sentence and then you say a sentence and we'll make a story based on sentences. That's how this movie was, because it was all over the place, including probably the worst score I've ever heard before, because it's serious Italian music, then there's violins and heavy strings, and
not to mention they didn't have the timeline correct at all. First of all, they started off in Milan in 1978, but Patrizia and Maurizio, God, why did their names have to be so similar, actually got married in 1972, and then they started playing music from the 80s and 90s in the 70s.
They got married to George Michael's Fate.
Yeah.
About 15 years before it came out.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Give or take. So, yeah. I don't know. And I don't think that I've ever... And now Adam Driver is one of those, he's very, monotone, in his roles. But I have never been so bored watching Adam Driver in my life. There was no life to his acting at all. There was nothing. There was... His tone never changed. Even when he got pissed off, he was like, listen, I'll talk to you when I'm ready.
In an English accent.
I can't. Like I said, Jared Leto was just hilarious as like an aging, balding, overweight, middle-aged man. He made me laugh, but other than that,
There are so many plot holes to this movie. There are things that are just completely glossed over.
mhm.
I don't know what they were really trying to tell in this movie because you would think it would be more about fashion, but it really wasn't. Honestly, I don't know what the hell the movie was about.
Well,
I
I think it was a lot about family drama.
Yeah, it was a soap opera, a bad soap opera. There is one scene where they're singing "Happy Birthday," and it was like everybody's trying to do Italian accents with marbles in their mouth and trying
Oh,
to
that
sing
was the
that.
scene I missed.
Ugh, my God! And I'm not just saying it's bad accents, even though she is saying, "Ah, well, they're in Italy," blah 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 blah. There
Well, no, I'm
are
saying that your accent is going to be different from theirs because you're from an Italian neighborhood in Brooklyn. Glenn.
listen to this prejudice.
No,
Listen to this.
David, your mother says words that don't
And
exist, and so
look,
do you.
look,
So do you.
look. We're not talking about Italians from Brooklyn, all right? Hey, oh, leave that alone. Dialogue coaches have come out and said, well, yeah, we don't know what they were speaking. And these are professional people that train actors to speak in a certain way. They gave him some compliments, and they actually picked out maybe 5 scenes where the accent was right. It's like, oh yeah, she nailed the R there, and she nailed this word there, but it's just bad. And Jared Leto, he is, I don't know. Look, I like the guy, but he needs to fucking cool his jets in some movies. This is like a Joker performance because he went over and beyond probably what that character was meant to be. Like if this was a really good serious movie, he would have killed it. But because everything else was so bad, he made it entertaining.
Well,
Just
yeah,
his character
that's
and
what I
his
mean. Like,
performance.
I'm not saying that he was like good by any stretch of the imagination, but he was entertaining in an otherwise unbearable movie.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god,
We're not rating it
it's based
because
on a real life.
it's based on a
I don't know
true
how much of
story.
it's true, but
There was some stuff that was not true, but I mean, as far as like what actually happened in the end, that was true.
this is a wannabe movie. And why I say that is because this is a wannabe Martin Scorsese film. It terribly missed. And I hate to just trash a movie, but this is by far the worst movie I've seen in a year or 2 years. And I've never gone to a movie and actually felt personally offended by seeing a bunch of people trying to act the way they're not. That just, I got nothing else.
I didn't grow up in an Italian neighborhood, so I don't really care about that. I mean, I think that it was wrong, but I wasn't personally offended.
Luckily, we're not rating this
Well,
one.
I mean, some of these people actually are Italian
Yeah,
in
and
real
they
life.
suck too.
Al Pacino is Italian, and I believe Lady Gaga is Italian.
This is how bad the film is because Al Pacino's fat in the beginning of the movie. He gets out of prison and he's very, very skinny because he's wearing these oversized clothes. And then 5 minutes later, he's fat again. That's how sloppy this movie
Well, I'm
is.
pretty sure Al Pacino is kind of overweight now. He's
Yes,
old.
but you don't go like this, and then this in the movie.
Yeah, I think they were trying to do like a time jump. So I'm thinking like in prison he lost some weight,
It
and
wasn't a
then
time
well,
jump.
I'm thinking that was kind of like their way of doing, but they did it all wrong.
He
Is what
went
I'm
from
saying.
the prison cell to the house, and he
Yeah, I didn't
gained
notice
50
that.
pounds.
I didn't notice that. I think it was just the clothes he was wearing was
It was
terrible.
the same clothes.
No, he changed.
Well, anyway, don't forget to.
Like, not the movie, just
Yeah.
our page. That's it. Subscribe, turn on the notifications, and share.
I hope I don't have to see another movie like this. Till the next. See ya.
See ya.